Greetings, AFSA family, and welcome to the 17th Annual Triennial Convention. You know, I had the opportunity to reconnect with many of you today, and as I did, and as I look out over this group, I realize how lucky American public schools are to have school leaders like you leading these schools. So I want to congratulate all of you. You, the delegates here, represent the voices of more than 25,000 school leaders across the country, from California and Maine in the west to Puerto Rico, U.S. Virgin Islands, and also Maine on the East Coast. Additionally, I want to welcome the guests and individuals who presented during the workshops today, and those who will be contributing throughout the course of this convention. As you know, the theme of this convention is Words into Action. And in that video a few minutes ago, you heard from some of the incredible General Executive Board members about the work we've done to bring our policy resolutions to life, going from words and creating powerful, successful action outcomes. Let me take a few moments to expand on that and showcase some of the positive progress we've made over the past 3 years. When you elected me your president, I stood before you with one clear goal: to take the 13 policy resolutions adopted at our last triennial convention and make them more than words on a page. I wanted those resolutions to become the engine that drives our work, guiding every program, every campaign, and every decision. We all know that policy on paper is not progress. Resolutions don't create change unless we bring them to life. Words alone are not enough. They must move, they must act, and they must live through us. Over the past 3 years, we've put our policy into practice in our workplaces, in our communities, and in the lives of our members. We've shown that when we remain focused and united, we just don't pass resolutions, we deliver real results. Words into Action isn't just a theme, it's our record, and it's also our path forward. Today, I would like to share with you just a snapshot of the success of our work. Not the full story, which would take days to tell, but some examples that reflect the real impact of turning our resolutions into reality and offer a glimpse into what we can achieve when we lead with purpose, when we act together, and we put those words into action. Let's begin with some of our greatest accomplishments over the past 3 years. I will start with one which defines the very heart of union work: organizing and collective bargaining. Under the leadership of Committee Chair and GEB member Henry Rubio, and through the efforts of our members and our dedicated national staff, we've made unprecedented progress advancing resolutions 4 and 10, which address building working power and supporting collective bargaining. In just the past 3 years, our external organizing has been a huge success. We granted AFSA charters to school leaders in key districts across our country. We brought those school leaders into the family under the AFSA banner. Those new locals include Fairfax County, Virginia; Chula Vista, California; yes, Montgomery County, Maryland. And you can see up on the screen now when we presented the charter to Christine and the members of our leadership team in Montgomery. Rochester, Minnesota; Meriden, Connecticut; New London, Connecticut; Sweetwater, California. I would ask all of you, this is their first convention. They are now part of our family. I would ask all of you to please salute them and welcome them into the AFSA family. Additionally, we are currently in the process of granting AFSA charters to school leaders in Arlington, Virginia, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Beverly, Maine. We also launched new AFSA regional federations, including the Maryland State Federation of School Administrators and the Midwest Federation of School Administrators, which consists of AFSA locals in Illinois, Missouri, and Michigan. In addition to bringing new locals and new federations into AFSA, we continue adding collective bargaining training for leaders and conducted regular one-on-ones with locals before we sat down at the bargaining table, and we offered advice and support during those collective bargaining sessions. Additionally, AFSA supported national and international labor allies, stood in solidarity with striking workers, and proudly helped pass a landmark law in Chicago granting principals collective bargaining rights. Whether through launching action network campaigns, strengthening our digital infrastructure, or deepening global relationships with leaders, every effort came back to one core principle: ensuring that you have a voice and that your voice is heard. That is what building union strength looks like. While we all realize the importance of organizing new AFSA locals and AFSA federations, we must never lose sight of the importance of strengthening our union from the inside out. We did this by following through with resolution number 6, building stronger local unions through labor training. This resolution committee was chaired by GEB member Carolyn Satoda. Under the resolution, we equipped our leaders and members with the tools they need to advocate, internally organize, and lead with power and purpose. A seminal achievement under this resolution was turning a multi-decade AFSA goal into reality with the launch of AFSA's searchable contract database. A powerful, innovative, and interactive tool built to empower all AFSA locals. This groundbreaking resource allows AFSA presidents to easily access, compare, and analyze collective bargaining agreements from across the country. The database is powered by a combination of traditional search engine technology and advanced artificial intelligence, which enables users to retrieve a wide range of relevant information with multiple wording variations and perspectives. By putting this wealth of contract at your fingertips, we are strengthening your ability to advocate for your members, support informed decision-making, and negotiate more effectively than ever before. Additionally, we hosted our AFSA Summer Union Leadership Training, surveyed members on labor training needs, and held webinars and conducted personal Zoom trainings with locals around the country on how to use our digital tools to better communicate and engage members. We also extended our learning and leadership development through national and international webinars, including a session on student absenteeism with the Department of Education, the National Association of Secondary School Principals, the National Association of Elementary School Principals, and Attendance Works. In times of change and challenge, we ensured that our members had access to briefings, federal policy, executive orders, and their impact on our schools. Whether in a training session, a webinar, or a negotiation room, we have one goal: to empower every local with the knowledge, with the confidence, and the resources to lead, to win, and to organize. Under the leadership of Committee Chair and GEB member Carl Perry, we took direct action regarding resolution number 1, threats and assaults against school supervisors and administrators. We launched a national survey and heard from over 1,000 members who shared their personal experiences facing threats and assaults on the job. We didn't just collect the data, we used it. We brought those findings directly to the United States Department of Education and held critical face-to-face conversations with the department to advocate for greater protections. We also compiled new research on how different states handle assaults on public employees and studied how other professional sectors are confronting similar challenges. This work has laid the foundation for stronger advocacy in Congress, informed policy recommendations, and increased awareness of what our members are up against every single day. Under resolution number 2, we addressed principal recruitment, training, and retention. Former GEB member Robert Motley chaired this committee, and the committee made notable strides. We partnered with the National Association of Secondary School Principals, the National Association of Elementary School Principals to address the growing crisis in principal recruitment and retention. And we shared critical data on the turnover at meetings with both the U.S. Department of Education and Senate leadership. We actively advocated for full funding of Title IIA, a crucial support for school leader development. We signed on to national letters, worked with local presidents to engage their representatives, and joined forces with other educational unions. Our advocacy extended to visibility and recognition, from securing a video message from Secretary of Education Miguel Cardona honoring National Principals Month, to spotlighting the stories of our members on our website by celebrating National Assistant Principals Week. We even we increased our impact globally by establishing for the very first time, and I want to underscore this, the very first time, establishing an international partnership with school leaders in Europe. We partnered with Senza Zaino, a dynamic educational organization which consists of school principals and other school leaders throughout Italy. We formalized this international partnership in December 2024 with the signing of a resolution of collaboration. And in a clear demonstration, we're building bridges, we're not building walls. In a clear demonstration of their commitment to our partnership, a delegation of the leaders of Senza Zaino have traveled almost 7,000 miles to attend our convention, and they are here with us today. And I would just like to call out their names and where they're from. Marco Orsi, president of the Senza Zaino Foundation from Lucca, Italy. Loredana Bucci, school principal and leading school institute from Taranto. Adriana Coloca from Milan. Mariangelo Francucci from Rome. And Vanda Mainardi from Brescia, Italy. Please, let's welcome them again. These school leaders will be with us throughout the convention. Please take the opportunity to meet them personally. Some of you already did, as they take part in the convention activities. Under the guidance of committee chair and GEB member Victor Cristofaro, we advanced resolutions numbers 5 and 7, which address two of our most foundational priorities: the fight for quality health care and public education as the beacon for democracy. At a time when public education access to affordable health care are under attack, we stood firm and took action. We pushed back against threats to critical funding, sent letters to Congress opposing cuts to Title IV, and fought against the reauthorization of private school voucher programs. We called on President Biden to address the alarming decline in the scores on the National Assessment of Educational Progress, and asked for a meeting at the White House. And for the very first time, our voice, your voice, was heard. We were invited to the White House and met there with representatives of the White House Domestic Policy Council. On Resolution 8, School Leader Wellness Support, Chairperson and GEB member Anthony Salvatore and his committee made tremendous strides in prioritizing the wellness and mental health of school leaders. AFSA encouraged locals to take advantage of new mental health grants and organized vital webinars during Mental Health Month, including Impact Rise Up series with Kaiser Permanente. Our collaboration extended internationally as AFSA and Senza Zaino sponsored and conducted a joint international webinar on mental health and wellness, demonstrating our commitment to sharing best practices globally. We held briefings in town hall, including one with U.S. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, to raise awareness of school leader mental health challenges. Through partnerships with coalitions such as the National Center for School Crisis and Bereavement and the Coalition to Support Grieving Students, AFSA has been a voice for compassion and support during crises, including responding to tragic school shootings and supporting grieving communities. Our goal continues as we advocate with the Department of Education to officially recognize the importance of school leader wellness. In addition to addressing school leader wellness, we understood the importance of well-being of the entire school community, by the work we did with resolution number 9, enhancing school safety and stopping gun violence. Committee chairperson and GEB member Richard Jackson led a determined charge in addressing the urgent issue of school safety and gun violence. AFSA has been proactive, sending letters to Congress urging an assault weapons ban and opposing cuts to essential Title IV Part A safety funding. Our union has rallied for support for communities impacted by shootings, including St. Louis, Missouri, Baltimore, Maryland, Lewiston, Maine, Perry, Iowa, offering solidarity and resources. We surveyed members nationwide to better understand safety concerns and brought those insights to the Department of Education, ensuring that policymakers hear the voices of educators on the front lines. Our presence at White House events focused on gun violence underscores our commitment to safer schools. Through these efforts, AFSA continues to advocate for the safety of students, the safety of staff, and the safety of our school communities. And finally, on resolutions 12 and 13, which addresses union veterans and union retirees, Chairperson and AFSA President Emeritus Ernest Logan led the charge to expand AFSA's support for 2 vital communities within our membership, veterans and retirees. We shared inspiring veteran profiles leading up to Veterans Day and delivered heartfelt messages honoring their service. On the retiree front, we've taken proactive steps to organize and engage retirees, including meetings with local retiree groups and participation in regional events hosted by the Alliance for Retired Americans. Richard, you were part of that. One note on the retiree work is the passage of the Social Security Fairness Act that Richard mentioned earlier. That act was passed on January 5, 2025. Formerly, Social Security payments were reduced for anyone receiving a pension from a job not covered by Social Security, and also reduced benefits for a spouse who received pension based on earnings not covered by Social Security. Because of the passage of this bill, retirees are no longer penalized in that way. We're thrilled with our success, and I want to especially thank GEB member Dominic Cicchetti for bringing it to our attention and keeping us focused on this issue. And I thank all of you who followed through on AFSA's request to send a letter to your congressional representatives supporting the passage of this bill. More than 1,000 AFSA members responded to that request. Your voices were heard, and the Social Security Fairness Act was passed. Through these initiatives, AFSA continues to strengthen. I said CASA, that's my old local. All right, Ken, I see you're in the house. Through these initiatives, AFSA continues to strengthen the bonds with our membership, recognizing the invaluable contributions of our veterans and retirees to our union and our country. I have just given you an overview of how AFSA has supported our members since the last convention, but all of this work could not have been done without a team of dedicated professionals who are committed to our work. I want to thank our devoted General Executive Board members who served with courage and with compassion. I'm equally grateful to fellow AFSA officers, Executive Vice President Lauren Waters-Cherry, and Secretary-Treasurer Mark Cannizzaro. Thank you, brother. And I must also thank my Chief of Staff, Nick Spina, for helping keep me focused for the past 3 years. Thank you, Nick. To the rest of my amazing staff, I give a special note of thanks. As a staff, you acted as one, and that is an enormous blessing. So we've seen firsthand how our resolutions are not just words. They become programs, partnerships, and victories. But this is not the end of the story. It's the beginning of the next chapter. The question now is, where do we go from here? Public education is under a relentless attack, and the challenges we face are daunting. But you, school leaders, are the guardians of hope and the defenders of opportunity. We do as we always do. We move forward together as one, and we embrace the challenge. This is our moment to be bold, to raise our voices, and to fight for the future of our students and our communities. Together with passion and purpose, we will defend public education because the future of our children, our democracy, and our nation depends on it. The work we do just doesn't live in this room. It lives in how we organize, in how we lead, and how we lift each other up. So let's keep pushing. Let's keep building. Let's stay bold, stay loud, and stay unified. Let's move forward with strength and conviction, because when we lead with vision and act with purpose, there is nothing we cannot achieve. Let's keep turning words into action. Thank you all.